so much for joining me today. I am very grateful for the time, the space that you're making for yourself, for you giving your energy to be here and to share in this with me. So thank you. Today I'm going to build upon something that I talked about the last time, which was I told a story about how I was not listening from within, and I was emphasizing how important it is for us to listen from within. And I talked about a question that really precipitated me experiencing an avalanche, a floodgate of realization. And that question was, what am I taking on that's not mine? And so I offered this question to you today. What are you taking on that's not yours? A good friend of mine would always talk about eat what's on your plate. And he would say it so much that my husband and I would joke, like, eat what's on your plate. Did you eat what's on your plate? And so what he meant by that was, are you eating what's in front of you? Are you staying present? Or are you busy trying to eat what's on someone else's plate? Are you trying to worry about maybe what someone else has on their plate and how you think you want that? Are you looking at what used to be on your plate? But he would say, just eat what's on your plate right now. And so as I ask you to really slow it down and consider what you might be taking on that's not yours, I want you to ask yourself, is that because I am distracted from paying attention to what's in front of me? So maybe I'm taking on a guilt or a shame or a humiliation. Maybe I'm taking on a fear, or I'm taking on a doubt that's all based on a construct that may not even really be my own, but maybe one that was given to me based on how I was raised, or based on what's deemed as acceptable and my community or around the people I spend time with. But is it really my own? Do I really believe what I say I believe? Or what I speak? Do I really mean the words that I say? Or am I just saying something because I've been conditioned to think that the words that I'm speaking are true? So if I say, I don't like tomatoes, is it because I really don't like tomatoes? Or is it because I had an experience with the texture of a tomato that left me feeling the distaste, that left me not liking the texture in my mouth? And so now I've decided that all tomatoes I don't like. And who knows, maybe that's true, or maybe it's not. Or maybe I had someone tell me growing up that tomatoes aren't good for you, and you shouldn't be around tomatoes, you shouldn't eat tomatoes, that tomatoes can hurt you, that tomatoes are different from you, so you don't want to be like that tomato. And is it even true? Or you should live only as this tomato, and this is all that's for you, and you are supposed to be just this way. And so we, if we're not careful, can really make some strong cases for how we live, sometimes small and narrow, all because we took on a thought pattern or a construct or an energy or an emotion, or we let a memory infect our present and prevent us from experiencing each now moment. Or saying we want something different, but yet grabbing what was from yesterday and wondering why I still feel ill. So, I want you to think about, what is it that you could be taking on that's not yours? And are you ready to let go of it? Are you ready to say, well, who am I without that thought? Who am I without that experience shaping everything that I do? Who am I if I see myself as amazing, as having a gift to share with someone else? Whether that someone else is someone who lives next door to me, or whether that someone else is someone who I've never met. Am I ready to learn something new today Or have I already decided exactly what today is going to bring and what this day is going to be about? Have I already made an assumption about someone I've met, about who they are, or someone I have always known, and I think I know exactly what is in front of them and what kind of a person they are, ignoring that just as I can transform and change, that so can that other person. And so I want you to slow it down and say, what have I taken on that's not mine? And so sometimes we camp out on an emotion and mistake that emotion for ourselves. So it's possible that I just need to give myself permission to fully feel the emotion, to fully allow it to move through me so I can release it and be released from it. And instead we sometimes use language like, this is my fear, or this is my doubt. And I was just thinking about that before I made this recording and before I stood here today. I thought about how I sometimes use that language of my fear, my doubt, as if I've purchased it, as if I want to own it. Well, maybe I want to take responsibility and be accountable for the feeling, but I don't necessarily want to own and have fear live in this address. Maybe I want to feel and experience fear so I can move through it and see that it doesn't define me, and that I'm bigger than it, and that it can teach me more about myself when I let myself experience it as opposed to resisting or stuffing. And so when we stay in the present place, I don't need to worry about what did happen and what could happen, or what might happen, or what should happen. I can recognize that what I have control over are my thoughts right now. I decide what I want to stay around me and what I want to let go of. I can decide how I want to use the currency of my energy. Where do I want to place it? And what environment do I want to be? I can choose. So I ask you today to choose that which is for your highest and best good. Air conditioning coming on. I ask you to choose to slow it down and make space to contemplate what is actually for me, that is for my overall well-being, and what can I let go of that is a weight, that is holding me down or holding me stuck, that's an anchor to my past. And am I ready to swim freely in the waters called right now? So, hope you think about that. I certainly am going to keep thinking about that. And I want to, again, thank you for your time, your energy, for making space with me. And I hope that you have a radiant rest of your day.